Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is John Harder, and I'm coming to you live with a broadcast number 147. Ways of building. Okay, what's up? Now, this is an interesting one. Ways of building communities of health and prosperity. Wow. Isn't that an interesting subject to talk about? Communities. Since when has the world focused on communities? Now, for many years, the world has been focusing on tearing up communities as opposed to creating communities. I shouldn't say the world has focused on it, but the leaders or the powers that shouldn't be, they have. And so they've been pushing the governments, and of course, the governments put everything in order in the way so that it does that. And that's exactly what's been happening, is that communities have been torn apart, and we need to rebuild. Let us begin again with a few words of affirmations. Affirmations are critical to changing your way of thinking, which changes your habits, which changes your life. So we'll begin with, I like having money. I like having lots of money to afford the lifestyle I enjoy to live. I like having lots of money to enjoy the lifestyle I like to live the lifestyle I enjoy to live. I like having lots of money to live the lifestyle I enjoy to live. I like having lots of money to live the lifestyle I enjoy to live. I like helping people, and having lots of money increases the ability to do that. I like helping people, and having lots of money increases the ability to do that. I like helping people, and having lots of money increases the ability to do that. All right, I like helping people, and having lots of money increases the ability to do that. I like money because money is currency, and currency is energy. I like money because money is currency, and currency is energy. I like money because money is currency, and currency is energy. In the more money I have, the more good I can do in the world. The more money I have, the more good I can do in the world. The more money I have, the more good I can do in the world. Folks, we are talking here about getting rich, about becoming wealthy, because when you are focused on doing good for humanity and for yourself, of course, you're focused on doing good. Having a lot of money makes you a lot more you. It gives the world a lot more you. Okay? I really like money. we have many people who have warped concepts about money because of how they grew up, the continual lack that was in their life. Those things need to be overcome by changing the thinking about money. All right. So I hope these affirmations, and of course, if you write up your own affirmations that resonate more with you, that's great too. I'm going to actually put the link out so you can, if that's possible, so you can come on board if you want. So I'm going to just post the link in the chat, and then if you want, you can come on board. We actually went out yesterday and made got our own coffee maker, or should I say got a coffee maker. And it's really nice to have a coffee maker, which we didn't have until yesterday. All right, so let me just do that. Okay, so ways of building communities of health and prosperity using TBC and free energy. Now, the energy units that we're building, we can't, we're eager, I am eager, and I know Jacob is eager to see a prototype, which basically he is at this point building. I think Pete has started on one too, I'm not quite sure. But I haven't yet. I will probably just work on other things regarding it, on materials and so on for marketing and stuff like that, instead of building a third prototype. But maybe there's going to be 3 of them built already anyway, since Pete's son apparently is building one too, or wants to build one, or I'm not exactly sure where he's at with that. But if there is 3 prototypes being built, it's probably not extremely necessary that I build one. So I'm going to be working on other things regarding that, because what this will involve in order to get it out into the marketplace is obviously getting now, what is it called now, engineer. We'll have to get an engineer involved, which you know, to go, so we get the, so we go through the proper channels so it can actually be available on the marketplace. And so those are some of the things that that I'll be working on to get the so we can, you know, get this free energy unit, these engines, so we can get them built. And so anyway, as far as the free energy, I think that is pretty much where we're at. As far as cash flow that we can get going right now, actually, let me acknowledge my visitors here. Thank you very much, Jacob, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Marjorie, for moderating. And thank you, Stephen, for tuning in again. For a while there, it probably seemed like I had almost disappeared because from this broadcasting platform, because of our internet was very, very much less than ideal, and of course we had spent quite a bit of time looking for a place here, and so eventually, of course, things fell in place for us, and we moved and got a nice place here. We actually moved to a different state in Mexico here from where we originally were, and it's only about, I don't know, it's probably a vehicle drive. It's probably about 3/4 of an hour of drive. We're just near the border of Nayarit and Jalisco. So, but we're in Nayarit now, and it's great here. We absolutely love it. People are very, very nice, very friendly. It's actually fun to even just go out on a walk, and the people you meet, and they're so easy to talk to, even though at this point there is quite a language barrier, since I've been in Canada most of my life, where we didn't use Spanish at all. And so that language barrier is it's probably going to be a little while before that's going to completely disappear, especially since most of my work is right at home, and but I do make it a point of going out and talking to people and getting the word out. I've got a few friends. One very, very good friend in Jalisco. I called him just yesterday, day before yesterday. I called him and talked to him a little bit. He's very, very interested. He wants to be on board with those engines, definitely, and which is nice because we're going to need people. And he's actually, him and a friend of his are opening up a real estate office here in the very near future. They're working on, so, but he wants to be on board with those engines. He said he'll buy one in a flash as soon as they become available. But he wants to also be involved with the project, which can very easily happen. So I really appreciate people who see, who are that interested in the project to bring free energy to humanity. This is huge. This is really huge. Now, I know that many people, they just right away think that, well, that's impossible because it's been tried before, and it has been tried before. But the thing is, the powers that shouldn't have been, they are basically their power structure is being dismantled as we speak. And this is huge for humanity. This opens up so much freedom for people all over the world. Now, I know at this point there's turmoil, and it's sad to see that. It's sad to see that. But you know what? Truth prevails. Truth prevails. And we will have a world of freedom. And this will give so much back to humanity, because this concept of poverty is going to disappear, and we're going to have a wealthy planet. Now, I think that it's at this point, it is difficult for humanity to understand that there is such a thing as freedom, which brings me again to the point of you know, of the movement that is going on right now, and it is actually growing. It is going viral right now. And there are different movements that have been started, but the one that is really going viral right now is the anarchism. It's, and most people don't really understand the word anarchy. Most people don't really understand that. The word anarchy, if you look it up on Google, it actually, you know, the first, you know, how should the explanation of it sounds like it's a bad thing. But if you go and you do more research, it actually, the meaning of it actually is very different. And of course, it is completely, how should we say, anarchism and democracy, they're two opposite, completely opposite things. Democracy pushes the idea that we have to have government, that humanity will destroy itself if they don't have somebody up on top, you know, controlling. But it's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite. We don't need anybody telling us what to do. This is very clearly displayed in disasters. Humanity will literally, even people who have had grudges for years and wouldn't talk to each other, when a disaster of some sort, whether it's natural disaster or otherwise, they will work hand in hand to help humanity. They will drop their ego, their, you know, their differences, and work together. So that shows us something. This this idea of not getting along, and this idea of friction between people, does not come from where we think it comes from. It actually doesn't. If you do your research on what George Soros has been up to, along with, of course, many others, you will find that these are people that have literally, and still are, causing all kinds of friction and difficulty in humanity. People turning people against each other in many different ways. So let's not be fooled into thinking that we have to have democracy or we have to have government. Let's give ourselves the freedom to find out what is anarchism. Maybe it is something that we actually want to be part of as well. Anyway, enough on that. We have a system in TBC right now. Most people are short on cash flow, which is actually very easy to understand, considering that this world has been operating on the idea of lack for hundreds of years. It's understandable that just about the entire society or humanity is poor, because this is what has been created for many years. In TBC, we have liberty. We have the monetary system that can give us the financial freedom back. And this, to even just the very idea of getting this out to the masses, is a huge opportunity for cash flow right now. And TBC has therefore put together a system to so that we can cash in on this cash flow that's available. And to do that, let me just share the screen for a little bit, and I'm going to just go to I'm just going to go ahead and show us those steps on the blog, and then also on a website. And I just want to show you the difference. I think it's going to load before too long here. Our internet here is quite good. It's not extremely fast, but it is quite nice. So sometimes it does lag a little bit. Okay, so we'll go, huh?
Unless there's a thunderstorm.
Yeah, of course, unless we have a thunderstorm, which we have almost every night. Yeah, almost every day, evening, we have a thunderstorm. And and it cools it down a little bit for the night, and in the morning it's really, really gorgeous morning. And then of course after that it gets quite hot. This isn't actually the post I wanted. I want oh, this one there, steps. So maybe this is the post I want. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so here are just the basic steps that are laid out, and I did switch these two around. The 3 and 4, I switched them around on the website. I'm just going to go to the website a little bit too, but here are the steps that are laid out. They aren't, they're not in number here, but I believe it's a total of 23 steps that that are laid out on the blog. This is how TBC gave them to us. And then what I've done is I just made a way to so that we have everything in one place when we refer people, that we can easily use this. And all it takes is just a free account. There is no charge for using this system. And what I did here is I made it available in many different languages. Okay, so so that way, if somebody only knows the Spanish language, well, they can select the Spanish language, and everything here will be in Spanish. Okay, so, or what other language. I haven't got all of the languages, but I do have a pretty good number of them. So I believe we pretty much have humanity covered as far as the languages that are available there. And of course, contact information, and then the steps. And as you'll see here, the step 3 is actually where the payment needs to be made, and we've made that. I've made that the 3rd step here, and then people can select here whether they want just whether they want to just have the payment for the wallet, or whether they want to buy $100 worth in coin right away, which is of course what the steps are actually basically geared for. And to make this a very easy flow, what I've done is I've created it so that there is links right here to log in as you're on the steps page, and they open in a new tab on the browser. What's up? Oh,
there we go. Now it's on. Okay, I don't know what happened.
Oh,
It's okay.
okay. Sorry about that. There was seemed to be a glitch there or something.
Back to your picture.
It is?
Yeah. It's a little slower than what you're doing, so I don't know for sure about
Oh, apparently the internet can't quite keep up. So, well, I was going to show the contact forms that are in here, which make it very, very easy to communicate, and so we can just very easily help. And it's a streamlined system, really. Okay, so is it still just my picture?
right now. I am.
All right.
Now it comes back.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm stopping the screen share. Apparently it doesn't keep up when I try to share the screen. I'm not sure what's up. Internet not quite fast enough. Okay. All right, well, okay. Well, I apologize for that. It seems like there's some, I'm not sure. Is the internet not quite fast enough or what the deal is? So anyhow, with TBC, we do have this, we do have a very, very good system in place. And I began the broadcast with affirmations in the opening part, and I believe in affirmations very much. And I know that we don't realize it, but the scriptures also teach us affirmations. If we would understand it clearer, I believe that if the scriptures hadn't been edited, you know, when it was put into book form, if the Bible hadn't been edited, literally some books made up and put in, and other books hugely edited to give us very different information than what the writings originally were and the scripts. I believe we would have a very different Bible, and humanity would have never fallen for all the chaos and the poverty that we have been experiencing. But what would have been, what could have been, is really kind of irrelevant today, except for one thing. If we understand that things could have been so much different, and that now again they can be, that can give us a lot of motivation to move forward and bring things back to the way they actually should be. The poverty, the abundance mindset, get rid of that poverty and get an abundance mindset. I've said this many times. Until we become wealthy inside, it's very difficult to become wealthy outside. Now, maybe most of us, we are thinking that this idea of prosperity was basically pushed on humanity for us to feel the poverty. But those who were pushing it, I think, were feeling it probably every bit as much as we did, maybe even more so, because they have been constantly in fear of getting caught in their schemes. They've been in fear of humanity finding out what they were up to. They've been, it must have been very difficult to live like that. Now, only to realize that eventually they will probably either get killed over it on account of that, or spend the rest of their lives in jail. which isn't a very, how should we say, not a very desirable future to anticipate. Me, I'd rather look forward to a life of abundance when we find out what, what actually has been going on and how this world has been, everything has been warped and out of shape and pushed differently than it should be. I look forward to the freedom, to the abundance, to the good that humanity is going to experience. And to do this, we need to tune into it. We need to tune into it because the abundance already exists. It's already here. It's all available to us. It always has been. But unless we tune our minds into it, it's very difficult for us to experience it. Matter of fact, we can see this. This has been proven to us many, many times. Did you know that when a person, the average person having a job he hates or she hates, wins a lottery of millions, that in a matter of 5 years, they're back to broke? They're back to the financial situation that they had before? Does that not teach us something? Does that not tell us that it's in the mindset? Jim Rohn said it this way: if you all of a sudden get a lot of money, if you win a lottery, you better get rich quickly or you'll lose it. It's very true. It's very true. And also a line from Zig Ziglar: if you help enough people get what they want, you can have anything you want. These are very powerful concepts. How long have I been on? All right. I think I've probably spent enough time on this. Let us build our mindset to the wealth. Tune in to the wealth that's available to us, and creating cash flow will be very easy. Thank you very much for tuning in. And oh, I see there's Lucy Brown has tuned in. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lucy, for joining us. I appreciate it very much. Huh? Oh, Susan as well. Oh, right. I didn't mention. Oh, she wasn't on before yet, huh? Yeah, thank you very much, Susan, as well. I really, really appreciate you guys having come on. And I hope that I have given you inspiration that you can use in your thinking. Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Actually, tomorrow I'll be back at 9 again, what I try to always be. Besides Mondays. Mondays don't work because of the send button meeting. So on Mondays it's 11. But during the week, I try to always be at 9. And this being late has to stop. I'm saying that to myself, okay? All right, thank you very much for joining me, and have a wonderful day or evening or whatever it is, and be safe, Stephen. Okay, I know that there's weather-wise there's quite the brew in your area, so I hope everybody is safe. All right, thank you very much again, and